In the past 48 hours, I've witnessed the Toronto Raptors choke away a lead to the Los Angeles Clippers. I witnessed the Buffalo Bills choke away a spot in the AFC Championship game. And I might see the Toronto Raptors get obliterated away from home in Los Angeles to the Lakers. I hate sports so goddamn much, you have no idea. Toronto Raptors lose to the Los Angeles Clippers 121-117. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Raptors Rundown. I'm your host, Yousuf, and this episode is extremely late because of the turmoil that has come from the past 24 hours watching another overtime loss in the playoffs from my Buffalo Bills. Lots of controversial calls in that one. I'm not going to spend too much time speaking about it because I'm sure Molly's going to ask me about it on the goddamn podcast. But, they don't know what a catch is in the NFL. It's as if you didn't know what a goddamn travel was in the NBA. Like, there should be set rules for a catch. It shouldn't be as opinionated as it is in the NFL. Alas, the Bills had their chance to win. They blew it once again. I'm never witnessing a Super Bowl in my life. And the Raptors had a beautiful chance. At the time that I'm recording this, if the Toronto Raptors had won against the Los Angeles Clippers, they would currently be the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. Or tied with the New York Knicks for the 3 seed. So that just shows the huge implications of choking away that lead. And it started off beautifully. I mean, starting off the game, I think the biggest standout, and a lot of people were talking about, was Brandon Ingram. He really has bought into the defensive end since the start of the season. That was a huge concern of mine coming out of the gate. He really looked like he was not able to defend at a high level anymore coming off the ankle injury. I feel like he's gotten back into it a little bit, and now he's defending at an actually pretty good level. We started off getting out, running early, not letting them set their defense up. Jamal Shed was involved early. In fact, as soon as he came off, the Los Angeles Clippers were able to come back into the game. They went on their own 8-2 run as soon as he went off. Ochai Agbaji was a huge person early. When he's knocking down his threes, he's actually a valuable player, because at times it's not even like he's playing too bad. He's just invisible out there at times, especially when his three's not falling. So it was falling today. I think he had 3 threes today. Very solid game from him early. We'll talk about his struggles late, his missed shots. It was really frustrating. We had a pretty solid lead. Our lead actually got as big as 14 points in this game, but we came out of the half extremely sloppy, turning the ball over, taking bad shots, and we let the Clippers go on their own run. It felt like this was the definition of a game of runs. As soon as we would go out into the lead, the Clippers would respond with their own 8-0, 9-0 run. And we've talked about it with the Raptors all season long. We go on these terrible scoring droughts, and I feel like it will be the death of us. And this is the thing that I'm the most concerned about when it comes to this team. Yes, we're missing a lot of our key offensive players, but at the same time, when you have Brandon Ingram and Scotty Barnes and players who are actually shooting the ball pretty well today, you cannot go on these scoring runs. I think it was more so the shots that we were taking versus, just the fact that it's not going in. Mamu had a very good game today. He saved us on offense by finding the open space. Actually, Clippers were really aggressive, and their physical defense, it allows for a lot of open spaces. So our passes had to be a lot more quick. When Mamu came in, he sort of settled things down, got a couple easy buckets, and regained our lead. Grady Dick and Jamal Shed went on their own little 9-0 run themselves with a couple of threes. It was literally insane. It was a Jamal Shed assist to Grady Dick. He hit the 3. Jamal Shed then went and drew his 50 millionth offensive foul of the season on an illegal screen. Then Grady Dick, he hit another corner 3. Then Jamal Shed stole the ball with Grady Dick diving for the ball, passes it to Ochai Agbaji, who gets fouled going up for a layup. So they won their own little run. It was crazy. And that blossomed our lead to double digits. And then to start the fourth, the Los Angeles Clippers go out on a 9-0 run. They love that double big lineup with Yannick Niederhauser and Brook Lopez. In fact, they started running different variations of it with Yannick Niederhauser and Ivica Zubac, who ended up being healthy just in time for the game today. Brook Lopez in there. They like mixing that up. I feel like that's been a big key to their success this season. I also want to say I have no idea how Brook Lopez did not get a technical foul. The guy was yelling at refs back and forth. It was insane to me. He was literally screaming in their face, and they would not call a technical foul. Let Scotty Barnes do that to a ref. He's getting thrown out of the goddamn game. game. But like I said earlier, game of runs, we respond by going on our own 8-0 run. Great Dick this is back-to-back like high impact game. He had 15 points tonight. But again, it wasn't just because his three was falling. It was because he was actually taking smart shots, being active as he was on the defensive end. To end the game, I want to say people are going to talk about James Harden, and he was incredible. But to me, the reason the Los Angeles Clippers won the game was Chris Dunn on the defensive end. He did such a good job defending Brandon Ingram. And, Brandon Ingram has this bad thing about him. The only bad thing about him down the stretch, he really struggles against people who have really good hands because they don't allow him to get into his shot and shoot it over the defender. If you allow Brandon Ingram to shoot over you, no matter how much you're contesting it, half the time it's just going to go in because he's such a good shot maker. So all you have to do is not allow him as he's bringing his hands underneath going into his shot. You have to swipe at the ball, get your hands dirty, be physical with him. That's how you stop him. That's what Chris Dunn did. Forced a bunch of turnovers, and then James Harden did all the rest offensively. To end the game, the Clippers actually had a chance to win. Jamal Shead had some clutch clamps on James Harden, and then we went to OT. We had missed our last 8 threes, and Harden had 16 of their last 20 points, which is ridiculous. We went scoreless for 6 minutes when it was 3:35 left in the fourth. We went 6 minutes without scoring a single shot. We were up 8 at that point until Scotty Barnes finally ends our drought in overtime. And in OT, we had a bunch of chances. Some wide open threes were missed. Scotty Barnes missed a three. Ochai Agbaji was missing them in the fourth and in overtime. Brandon Ingram had one to tie the game. He missed. He had one to make it a closer game, and he airballed. The shot just wasn't falling down the stretch. It was bad on us. I think we let the Clippers get into the game too sloppy on the offensive end, and the Raptors lose a game that they definitely could have won once again. To me, I think things went wrong on the defensive end for us when we allowed James Harden to have the ball for pretty much the entire possession. I think the issue was one possession overtime, I believe. We doubled James Harden and early in the shot clock, and he actually made the pass, and I think it was Jordan Miller, I could be wrong, he ends up hitting the three. So I think we were all right, the others are hitting their shots. We have to just try to play James Harden one-on-one. But to me, I would have continued to double him if he was torching us the way he was. I would have definitely, forced others to beat us. If Jordan Miller is beating us, then, credit to them. I'm not allowing James Harden to beat us. And, shout out to the rest of the Clippers. Their supporting cast was incredible tonight. Nick Batum ended up starting. He only had 6 minutes tonight. But guys like Chris Dunn, we already mentioned defensively. Kobe Sanders was 4 for 7 tonight, 2 for 2 from 3. Yannick Niederhauser provides some really good minutes defensively. Jordan Miller was incredible. He was 8 for 11 tonight. He had 19 points. It was just such a big game from the extras, and this is what the Los Angeles Clippers are going to need. Next up, we play the Los Angeles Lakers in literally 3 hours. I have to rush to get this video edited so I get it out before the game. We are going to be playing Luka Doncic. I think he just rested against the Portland Trail Blazers. I don't know if their injury report is out, but I'm slightly concerned because LeBron James is going to be looking to get a revenge game. We did a really good job of limiting him in the last game. Austin Reeves ended up going off. So I think the key is to get the ball out of Luka Doncic's hands as much as possible. Do not let him torch us. And then on the offensive end, getting smart shots, closing out possessions. A big reason we lost to the Lakers because we let DeAndre Ayton get every single offensive rebound. But yeah, I hope if we do those things, it'll be at least competitive. We will be shorthanded once again. No RJ Barrett, no Jakob Poeltl, no Jacoby Walter. Jamison Battle's probable. Matt Quickly's questionable. The injury bug is hitting us at the worst possible time at the start of this Western Conference road trip. But this would be a good game to pull out of the fire. So hopefully we can make it work. I need some wins in my sports fandom because the Bills have ruined everything. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. I'm sorry for this being late. I promise it won't happen again. In fact, the Lakers one is coming out tonight as well. I'm going to record it tonight too. So make sure to like, subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video of the Raptors Rundown. Peace out.